You know, no one's more surprised than I am to be standing in this painted environment, holding this egg, going to tell a story that is a revelation, not that I'm illustrating, but that has essentially said, here, let me draw you a picture. Let me paint you a picture. And like a musician, I've followed this unfoldment and allowed within my home and my library a story to flow through me that needed to be known, I realize now, because all of this began on 9/11, 2001. And I began painting. I began on my knees. And you can see I'm standing with the mother, this story of the return to why is being difficult so hard? What's the point? And the mystery of the right angle that's been revealed here is going to help us, I believe, through art, because this isn't belief, this is environment. It's like music, it transcends critique, it simply is. It invites us like a garden to consider the chalice, this gift of birth, that each of us are a unique blossom of creation, whole and holy, and only the mother who loves all of her children could tell us that. I am matter, mater, mother. I'm the knowledge of your atoms. There are no evil atoms. If we don't like our stories, we have to tell better stories. And she says, begin with the one you tell yourself about who you think you are, because look at her belly, it's the face of a child. The sense of wonder, of innocence. We begin with love. But the question of who are we? And I'm beginning to honor it as an old cave painter. As a story that said, I can't tell you who you are until you come home, until you're off your high horse and maybe starting once again on the floor, where you began in early life. Because the question of the mother, of the ancestors, which we will see here, looking back toward the time of fire, toward the time of shamans, of direct connection, direct knowing. And we believe this sense of we have lost something, as opposed to the ancestors like the root of a tree saying, no, you have taken a long journey. So now you come full circle. And you have to ask why. And this is where the right angle reveals itself in this visual narrative. I didn't make this up, it revealed itself. That the knowledge of the mother, the knowledge of the ancestors, the knowledge of the chalice, of the grail, the truth behind the politics of religions is the story of I love, therefore I am. I am redeemed not by what I take, but what I give. I honor the sense of love. And this connects us, but in this right angle, the unexpected journey here was this emergence of the Father, this journey of a Christ, of an Odin, meaning of a blind eye, and the scrolls like the rabbi, the laws, and the open eye, the knowledge of love. But then this revealed that as one stands, one becomes a right angle. And we hold the journey as a living tree. It says, did you not begin with the mother? Did you not begin within the mother? Are you not woven of matter, mater, mother, of the knowledge of your atoms? And did you not reach a point in your heart where you turned toward a mirror of self-reflection and asked, who am I? And as we take this journey, and this is where we will see a pictorial reference to the seed, the alchemical planting of an alchemical journey that will only reveal itself when we finally return to intimate space, meaning where the mother says, I love all of my children. I'm not interested in who you hate. But remember that the violence, the difficulty, the pain has been for thousands of years a journey into creation that has told us we are not who matters. We must battle for that. And the beauty of this revelation in paint is that it allows the journeyer to reach the mirror, and each individual will see themselves. So this isn't my face alone. If you were standing here, you'd see you. What does that tell you? Well, the theater, the truth, the beauty here. If you put on 3D glasses, it's also multidimensional. But here in the right hand, we'll see the story of the father, the grandfather. The left hand, the knowledge of the grandmother, the mother. And we will rise to the center of the heart. And we've reached a point in this narrative and in this environment of self-reflection, and there's no further to go. We are becoming exhausted. And violence, if we begin to understand what is happening and why it is not to change the fury of the world, but to take that fury and recognize that it has been going on for ages. So how do we reconcile? How do we find love and forgiveness? And what the mirror says, look to yourself. And stop thinking there's somewhere else you have to get to. Back up and recognize you are the outcome of all of this. You were born of a mother. You were born of love. You were born of a father. You were born of thought. When you think, you separate. When I think I see Leigh. I don't think I see you. But when I love, I feel connected. And this creation, this journey of atoms into fixed form, into environment, are the science of the heart. They're like a garden that says, I don't want to tell you where you have to get to. Or there's something to throw, because if I throw fire here, it hits only the mirror. And I become self-immolating. I burst on fire. And I know now that it's forcing us to say there's no further to go. Think of a psychological structure that here has taken 40 years to reach a point to tell us with pictures, as if consciousness said, here, let me draw you a picture. Because as much as I'd love to take credit for this, this is like taking credit for love. Because this is what it is. And I cannot do that. I can only say that in the dedication involved in this, that when we begin to understand that the right angle here takes us to the story of I love, therefore I am, into the journey of I think, therefore I am, and that we have been divided in these two minds. If I think, I separate. If I love, I connect. I'm in a tug of war. And maybe the journey of violence, the difficulty, is exhausting us because you cannot stop the storm. But as storytellers, going back to the painted cave, the musician that said, well, I don't know, I'll just listen to the music, I guess. And the music here unfolded with a story that said, if you can't put it together in a way that includes all of it, and doesn't judge the difficulty, but like the mother forgives the difficulty, and says maybe being human is the most impossible journey of all. But maybe that's the right angle, that one is standing finally upright, finally holding, I am that living tree. I am that toroid of energy that finally holds both love and thought. And if anything is going to be reconciled, the library teaches me, my book is different from yours. But we put it together in a way that reveals our wisdom. And when we say, I love, therefore I am, we don't try to avoid the tragedy. We try to understand that the journey and the battle of thought brought us back to ultimate personal responsibility. Because this is my home. This is where I love. It's this level that we discover now is truly sacred. And it turns out, always has been.